How many of you snore? Snoring is good for laugh, but it's not a joke. Over half of this room snores, and 1/3 of these have sleep apnea. The problem is that you are not aware of that, and out there are plenty of treatments. But don't worry, tonight, with our sensor and our app, you can figure out if you suffer from sleep apnea. If you have this disease, it means that you stop breathing in the middle of the night. The consequence? Heart disease, stroke, diabetes, loss of memory. So if all these people were to be treated and diagnosed, NHS would save £55 million per year. So why is this massive amount of people not aware? First, because of the non-specific symptoms. And second, because performing a diagnostic test is not easy nor comfortable. With our app, we present an easy-to-use, equipment-free, and cost-effective medical device. All you need is a smartphone and a small sensor. We know our technology works. We have the data to back it up, but we need to start a clinical trial. For that, we are looking for £1.2 million. We've been in the sleep sector for more than 25 years. Together, we will improve people's lives and reduce healthcare costs. My name is Irene Sainz, and we are Passion for Life. Thank you so much.
So we now have the opportunity for up to 2 questions. I don't know who'd like to go first. Let's break the usual sexist assumptions, and Charles, would you like to get the show on the road?
Okay, thank you. Great pitch. You're dropping into clinical trials. Does that mean your sensor is in late stage production, ready to enter into kind of ISO 13485 sort of environment, or is this a preclinical?
No, it's like clinical trial. Like, do you mean if our sensor is ready manufactured?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, our company, it's not producing the sensor itself. We have a manufacturer that we bought it from them. So we are like integrating our app, our sensor with our app. So we can start, we have to run some usability tests to make sure that the app and the sensor are ready. And then we are going to perform the clinical trial.
And the sensor is defined for clinical use. I said, what's the intended use of that sensor?
For our app, it's like with this sensor, sorry,
intended use, I mean a clinical submission diagnostic. One of the first things you put in is what is the intended use.
Yeah.
That defines user requirements, which defines your engineering requirements, which defines basically your verification, going in and out of product development.
Yeah, so the intended use of our device is to diagnose sleep apnea. I don't know if I answer like the end.
I would suggest you support diagnosis of sleep apnea across your lives.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for this.
Okay, Michelle.
Yeah. So, Julie, it's a great week. I'm sorry, we're not hearing very well the questions, so just maybe if we can move the microphone, but I'll get to my question. I'm really curious about the market research that you've done. Thank you. The market research. So practically you mentioned at the start of your pitch that half of the people in the room or over here suffer from sleep apnea. I wonder where that number came from. Did you focus on a specific jurisdiction, a specific nation? Is it a worldwide percentage?
Yeah, so in the pitch I mentioned that over half of this room is snoring, and 1/3 of these are like going to have sleep apnea in different severities. Our market analysis is based on the people snoring And this number is the 50% of the population mostly. And we are going to focus in these people because they don't know if they have sleep apnea. So our market analysis are going to be like the users that are snoring, the users that are tired.
Okay, thank you. So, but it's very difficult to distinguish who have sleep apnea or not, right? So that's your aim, to be able to help people recognize they have this. So I wonder, how come we know that 50% of the people have sleep apnea? Is it like, was this number come up? This number come up from some form of research or interview or question? Like, where does the number come from? Since we have to recognize if they have sleep apnea or not.
Yes, so we are using an index that it's going to detect how many apneas do you have in 1 hour. If you have more than five, five, this means that you have sleep apnea, like the low severity.
I see.
We are going to be based on this index.
Okay, great. And another question on numbers as well. So you mentioned that the NHS actually can save 55 million per year if they tackle this problem. Can you go into the details? The 55 million on what? On the heart issues that you mentioned?
It's just like general. If all these people that are suffering from sleep apnea, if they were diagnosed and treated as like the morbidities related with this disease are too much, if we are able to diagnose and treat all of them, we are going to save like this amount of money.
Thank you. Thank you. Very clear.
Thank you very
much.
Okay.